Hello students, welcome to the next video. Today we are going to continue the first chapter of your circular flow of economy. So this will be the last video for the first chapter. I will try to cover up all the topics so that we can move on to the next chapter. So there are few things remaining in this chapter. There are few terms. First is closed economy. So what does closed economy means? It is an economy which has no economic relations. What are economic relations? If two countries are having import or export with each other, then that relation will be termed as economic relation with the rest of the world. It is an economy, any country, which has no economic relations with the rest of the world. Then this is known as closed economy. Understood? Now, what is open economy? Just opposite of closed economy. It is an economy which has economic relations with the rest of the world. Here, in closed economy, it had no economic relation. But here in the open economy, we have the economic relations. Okay? So, let's move to the next topic. The next topic for this chapter is circular flow of income in two-sector economy. In this chapter, we are basically studying about only two sectors. We have rejected the government sector and the external sector. What was external sector? In which rest of the world included. Remember? Okay. So before starting this topic, there are two terms which you need to know. First one is product market. Second one is factor market. These are very easy terms. What is product market? Product market is the market for goods and services. Basically, when we as a consumer go to the market in search of goods and services, then that market is called product market. But when a producer goes in search of factor services or factors of production, then that market is known as factor market. Factor market is the market for factors of production. Is that clear? Now, we can start the topic circular flow of income in two-sector economy. But before starting that, there are some assumptions which we need to know. Without any assumptions, we cannot fulfill the theory. Now, the first assumption is there are only two sectors. Obviously, this theory is in two-sector economy, so there are only two sectors. What are they? They are households and the firms. Clear? The second assumption is households spends their entire income. We, the households, if we are having some income, then we have to spend all that income. There should be no savings. Clear? The third one is we are having a closed economy. Closed economy means there are no imports and no exports with the rest of the world. Now the fourth one is there is no government in domestic economy. The government is there, but they are not indulged in the production consumption processes. Now the other part, or we can say the explanation of this circular flow of income, can be explained with the help of this diagram. So there are two sectors, the one is household and the other one is firms. Is that clear? Now, you remember in the previous video we had the real flow and the money flow. Now we have combined that money flow and the real flow, and we have made this theory which is circular flow of income in two-sector economy. Now, let's see. Households and firms. The households are providing factor services, which are land, labor, capital, to the firms. Clear? And in return, the firms are providing goods and services. You remember? Which flow is that? This is the real flow. Now, here, firms are providing factor payments. What are factor payments? The rent, the wages, the interest or profit, etc., which firms provide the households. Now here the firms are providing factor payments to the households, and in return the households are providing consumption expenditure, or we can say the expenditure on the purchases of goods and services to the firms. So this is the circular flow of income in two sector economy. The explanation of this diagram can be seen here. It is divided into four parts. I have divided it into four parts. First part, the households supply factor services to the firms. The firms hire factor services from the households. The factor services the firms hires the factor services from us. Third one, the households spend their entire income on the consumption of goods and services. The households, we are expending all of our income on the consumption, the expenditure which is done on the purchases of goods and services. Now the last point, the firms sell what is produced by the households, or we can say by the help of households. The firms sell what is produced by the help of households. Now if you observe this diagram very carefully, you come up with few points. The first point, that the total production of goods and services, the total amount of production of goods and services by the firms is equal to the total consumption of goods and services by the households, which means that any amount which is being produced by the firms is being totally consumed by the goods, by the consumers, by the households. It means there is nothing left in the inventories. What is inventories? The remaining stock. So there is nothing left. Each and every goods and services are being consumed by the consumers. The second fact is factor payments by the firms is equal to factor income of households. What does it mean? Factor payment. What are factor payments? Rent. Remember, rent, wages, interest. All these factor payments which a firm does to the household is always equal to the factor income received by the households. Now the third one, consumption expenditure, means expenditure on the purchases of goods and services. Consumption of expenditure of households is equal to income of household sector. Suppose I am having an income, suppose 5,000 or 1,000 I am having income, then this will be equal to the my expenditure. If I am having 1,000 as my income, I will expend 1,000 on the purchases of goods and services. Now, if we consider all these facts, these three things are equal. We have three things in common. Now, keeping all these 3 points, if we consider these 3 points or phases, then we can say that the production is equal to the income generated, and which is equal to the expenditure. So these 3 entities, if they are equal, they are known as triple identity. We have 3 things in equal. Considering these 3 phases together, if we consider all these 3 points, then we can conclude that the production is equal to the income and the income is equal to the expenditure. This concept is known as triple identity. So, the next topic is significance of circular flow model. Why is this circular flow model is important? What's the importance of that? First of all, it helps in calculating the national income. Now, what is national income? National income is the total income earned by the country or an economy. Now, it helps in estimating, in calculating the national income, which is very important for an economic territory to know about its developmental growth. Now the second thing is knowledge of intersectoral interdependence. We get to know about the interdependence between various sectors. How much household is dependent on the firms, how much firms are dependent on the households, like that. Now the next, it shows the equilibrium. We have already covered this topic in the class 11th. It shows the equilibrium. What equilibrium? Demand, supply. These kind of things it shows with the help of, we can show these things with the help of equilibrium. And this helps in calculating the equilibrium. Now, one important thing, this circular flow of income is also referred as circular flow of money. So don't get confused if you are being asked about the circular flow of money. The circular flow of income and circular flow of money both are same things. Now the last topic for this chapter is leakages and injections. Now what are leakages? Leakages means it refers to withdrawal of money from the circular flow. Suppose we are having a circular flow in the economy and someone withdraws its money from the flow, then it is known as the leakages. And what are the injections? It refers to the introduction of money into the circular flow. Suppose someone is investing his money to the flow, then it is known as injections. The introduction of money in the circular flow is known as injections, and the withdrawal of money from the circular flow is known as leakages. That's all for this video, and your chapter is completed.